Hi, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And thank you so much to everyone who has already liked and subscribed the page. I truly appreciate it. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you did. But today's topic is all about managing screen time while we are quarantined as a family. If you don't know, one of my passion projects is that I am an internet wellness advocate. And I basically advocate through my Facebook page, which you can find in the description below, through workshops, through consultations. But I basically advocate around the area of internet wellness, teaching how to manage tech use, how to live in harmony with tech, because the reality is it's clearly not going anywhere. I mean, look how dependent we have become on it. And if you weren't, I'm sure in some way you are being forced probably to use technology right now during this time, correct? Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, just let me know in the comments. I mean, it's insane. So, we see that there is a need for it, but we must find the balance. And that is what I advocate for. It's just really finding the balance, really teaching, kids, especially who are growing up in a world where they know nothing but the internet and nothing but social media and TikToks and all of this, stuff. And, we have to teach them how to live in harmony with it. So, anyways, in today's video, I just want to go over some tips and some ways to really manage screen time as a family during this time. Most of us, especially if we have children right now, our kids are already inundated with technology because they are probably having to use Google Classroom or some form of online education right now. That's just the reality for the majority of students. And so, with all of that, it's so important right now to balance it, right? So, let's just get into it. Number one, screen off time. Having designated times during the day where you have screen time is off. Throughout the school day for my daughter, she is only really on her iPad or computer. She's really not on her iPad, except for at lunchtime, but she's really only on her computer during her designated learning times and those times when she's done with all of her work and she's allowed to use like Starfall or Reading A to Z or some of those educational apps. But besides that, she has to then earn screen time. And then we have times when we just don't allow screen time as a family. For example, when we are watching television, you can't have both. You can't have both in our house. You can't be on your phone and trying to watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune as a family. That doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? We have to be engaged. Dinner time, obviously no devices at the dinner table. That includes cell phones for the parents. When we are having real family conversations, none of that. When we are working out, because now we're spending so much time together. So any of those kind of communal family times, we're not on technology. So as a family, coming up with designated times that work for you, where there is just no screen time and there is downtime, is really important. Of course, having a time where you're shutting it off, is super key. Next, earning screen time. Make sure that your kids are doing things that you want them to do so that they are earning screen time. And this is also teaching them that it is a privilege. Especially, this conversation is only for a certain group of kids. A lot of kids, are not privileged enough to have devices, at their leisure. And so, and it's really being highlighted right now. Let me just say. Like, it's really being highlighted right now, and really being highlighted because the conversation is not even being had. I don't hear it really much in the media about really income inequality right now in regards to people who have access to the internet who don't. Who have access to all this technology who don't, who have parents who are tech savvy and who don't. We are really not having a lot of meaningful conversations. It's just like the same conversations. I just want to say shout out to the journalists out there. I'm just saying. By the way, I am a trained journalist, so, Moving on though, screen time is earned. Making sure that your kid understands that though, and understands that it's a privilege to have these devices, and that it's also, at the end of the day, it belongs still to me. I like to reiterate that, like, it belongs to me. I don't know why we act like these kids own these devices and let these kids run these devices. that can't be the case, and it has to start from when they're yay high, like with my daughter. So I want to show you all something simple. Hope you all can see that. Can you see that? Very simple. I'm going to read it to you because I know you can't. It might look backwards. I don't know how it looks. That I came up with. But this says no screen time until. I have it posted all throughout in her playroom, in her kitchen, in her little work folder where I have her put her work, completed work, and the work that she needs to continue working on. It's everywhere. So it's like in her brain. It's been like this since she was using the iPad. So it says no screen time until. Now this has been adjusted for quarantine. All school work is completed. Playroom is tidy. We have a playroom. She has a playroom, which is where the majority of her toys are. That has to be tidy. The bedroom is clean. And clean for me is the bed is made up. I don't see anything on the floor. No clothes on the floor. No toys on the floor. No books on the floor. Everything has a place. 30 minutes of active play. So that means that she has been outside. She has... if the weather's bad or it's cold, because we do live in Michigan, so you know the weather changes like crazy. So you know, weather dependent. You know, she can also do active play in the house. You know, we have tons of activities that we actually do virtually, from yoga. Shout out to Cosmic Kids Yoga, my favorite. Great site, by the way. If you don't know and you have a kid, visit Cosmic Kids Yoga. It's awesome. I'll put it in the description. But there's that. We do Zumba. They have like kids Zumba. We YouTube whatever we want to do for the day. Sometimes we just do the Macarena. I pull up like dances and we learn like dances together. But whatever works. But 30 minutes of active play, whatever that looks like, hula hooping, whatever. 20 minutes of piano practice. So my daughter does play the piano, so she has to do that every day for 20 minutes. It just is what it is. So that's what our screen time until looks like. By the time she gets through all of those things, it's typically around like dinner time, but then we're eating. So then she really only has the time like after dinner. Like she actually just got done. The reason why I'm doing this video is because she was doing her active play, which was outside riding her bike with my husband. So they went for like a walk around or a bike ride around the neighborhood and then came back. And so now she might be just now getting to her iPad. But right now, like, I don't even know that because she's taking a bath. So there's that. So, you know, you try to be strategic, parents. Be strategic. You know, I'm thinking I do this on purpose because I know there's not that much time in the day. And I also know that our shut-off time, which I'm transitioning into now with our docking station, is coming up at like 7:30. So what is it now? 6:58. So 7:30 is the docking station time. So at 7:30, she has to put her device on the docking station. No questions asked. Unless she's doing a reading A to Z, which I do give a little leeway to. Sometimes I'll allow her to, like, we'll do like a book or something on the tablet, like, you know, one of those read-alongs right now. But besides that, but then immediately after that, it's on the docking station. The docking station, I'm actually going to show it and take a picture of it, and maybe I'll put it in, somehow embed it. I don't know. But the docking station, it's literally something I found at TJ Maxx years ago, and it has like little slots in it, and you can just plug in your chargers, like 5 devices, and you can just kind of slot them in there. So like the phones can slide in, the phone has a space, the iPad has a space, the everything has a space in it, and you can just charge it and leave it somewhere separate. Because I'm not really big in having Wi-Fi in bedrooms. And that's just nothing to be like even really that much of a conspiracy theorist. It's just like I also wouldn't have a microwave in my bedroom. It's just like that's me, and I've been like that beyond all this crazy stuff. Now I know nothing. I've not done enough or looked into the whole 5G. I've looked into it a little bit, but not enough to see a correlation. You know, whatever. I just think people need to focus on the reality of what we know for sure to be true. But I'm going to move on from that. So yeah, having a docking station I think is key. And if you don't have a docking station like I have, just having a place outside of the bedroom where the majority of the devices are being stored. And I understand that some people have to sleep with a cell phone for safety reasons and whatever. Like my husband does keep a cell phone in our bedroom, but he's not really a phone person, so it's kind of there. But personally, I don't really have it near me in my room. I have it like across charged because I just kind of have to have it near me now for work purposes. But for the longest, I didn't even have it in my room. And so I really do encourage you definitely not to have it near your pillow or by bedside, like putting it away so you're not tempted to look at it throughout the night, your device. if you have a job like I have where you have to post things on social media, I schedule in advance. But I try to turn off. Like after I do this video, I'm gonna be turned off. I'm not gonna be on my device. I'm gonna probably watch a movie, relax, talk to my husband, do things like that. So having just a place where your devices go, and that place is also where they go when the kids lose those privileges. Moving on, a family contract is key, I think, too. There are so many great sites. You can just quickly Google family contract if you want ideas of what can be on it. But these things include, like, if and this is mainly for, I mean, it's for the family, but it's for really the kids and teaching them that, this is a serious thing when you're giving them these devices, like these cell phones, which are not just cell phones. They are literally walking laptops. I mean, come on. So when we're giving our kids these walking laptops with all this information and all this possibility on it, that they really understand what they have, and that one, if they do certain things on it, if they abuse the privileges that are granted to them, if they are having it or sneaking their device at night, whatever it is, that there are consequences for that. And as a family, that you all come up with those consequences. Now I have little kids. I have a 6-year-old and I have a 8-month-old. So the 6-year-old is the one who I now have, that with. But honestly, this has worked. I haven't had to do a real strict contract, but I think if your child is of an age like 8, 9 and up, you definitely probably want to do a family contract, because they're potentially exploring content that they have to really understand what they're looking at, and you might have to explain more things. So, understand your family, know what works, but a family contract is a great way to manage screen time and to also understand and teach that these are the consequences when privileges are abused. Moving on, and again, Google those too. I'll also probably provide a link in the description. I'll be helpful. I'm just kidding. I have links on my site too. If you all go ahead and check out my site on Facebook, Ebony Bagley Internet Wellness Advocate, that link is definitely in the description. I have resources for all of these things. So there you go. Moving on. And also I'm available for consultations. You can just hop in my messages. I'm available with any questions. I'm here. So just let me know. Reach out. You can even ask me questions in the comments. So also planning activities that encourage unplugging. That's very important throughout the day. I mean, if you're don't have anything for your kids to do other than like schoolwork, and you really don't, encourage them to do things outside of it, and you're always saying, well, where's your tablet, which a lot of parents default to, it's easy for them to get in the habit of also defaulting to their tablet. So it's really important to make sure you're planning activities that encourage unplugging. So for example, fit activities, like again, Cosmic Kids Yoga, getting outside, riding their bikes. I mean, now 'tis the season, right? So let's encourage them to get fit and stay active, especially because they're not in school and they're not getting that real, physical, for some kids, that interaction with other kids. Like my daughter, she's pretty much on her own. I mean, she can't really do too much with her brother right now. So really encouraging that, learning a new skill, exploring the outdoors, meditation or yoga, mindfulness. I also have tips on my page for mindfulness, teaching, kids how to be more present, how to meditate. I think is key right now, because honestly, they're going to need tools too to cope with everything that's going on. And as I was talking to someone the other day, I was saying, kids, your child is probably not going to scream at you right now, or maybe react in the same way an adult might react with their emotions, but they might not be listening to you, or they might be acting frustrated with their brother or sister, but the reality is we're all going through something right now. So it's important that you're also teaching your kids and modeling ways to cope with all of this. So going over meditation, yoga, mindfulness is great. YouTube's an awesome place to also look for those resources if it's something that it's new for you. I think this is a great time though to kind of learn new ways to cope. And that's all it is, is another way to cope, another way to deal with things. And then learning a new recipe, things like that. But encouraging other activities throughout the day will then break up the day where you're like, oh, you look around and you're like, wow, I had this amazing day. I didn't even have time to really be on my device. I mean, that's how it'll be. Also, I want us to take this time because, again, we now see that we have to live in harmony with tech, which is something that I preach all the time. The reality is that we're going to live with it. It's a part of us as much as our water or any other kind of technology that we have been consuming. It is a part of our everyday lives even more. I mean, most of us don't even know what we would do right now without our devices, and we could do without probably a lot of things. And so let's just look at ways to be tech positive. So one, tech positive right now, researching your family history and documenting it. That's a great way to be tech positive. One, two, learning a new skill. Again, there's so much available to us right now, and a lot of us have the time to do it. So learning a new skill is a great way to pursue the positive side of tech. Starting a YouTube. Hey, why not? I mean, this is the thing. Like a big reason why I'm doing this is because it's like, this is what my ancestors would have dreamed of if they could like document their life and what they were going through. So, that's why I'm here, whether I have like a couple hundred subscribers or a whole bunch or not at all. Like, this is for me, and that's why I just have fun doing it. Next, learn about something you're curious about. Like, also like free your mind. Like, there's so much that like, I know a lot of people aren't readers anymore, even though I also recommend getting into a good book right now. But the fact that you can literally like explore so many new topics right now, to get away from all of the news and to take a break and unplug from all of that can be very negative and stressful and really bring down our energy. And also, it's so important too right now. I just want to take a moment to say we have to really be mindful right now of where we're seeking counsel from. And that goes to say, like, don't go to the person that is going to like super stress you out. Don't turn to the news where their job is to, in a way, kind of get you stressed out. Really be mindful of the counsel that you're seeking, not just now, but in life. Like, seriously. But at any rate, exploring something you're curious about. I've gotten back into delving back into exploring the meaning of my dreams. I'm a big person that knows that our dreams, to me, it's like our higher self communicating with us, or our future self communicating with us, however you want to look at that. But I've been exploring, kind of reading and rereading some books that I read a long time ago on dreams and lucid dreaming and astral projections, and I might do a video on that like down the road, but or my experience with that. But at any rate, yeah, I've been doing that. So yeah, exploring new topics. I mean, the internet is your friend when it comes to that, right? And then also for kids, I think like so many kids don't know how to type. Like, they don't know how to really use like real computers. Like, teach them how to really type. I think this is a great time. And also teaching them etiquette, how to really use this technology. I mean, again, like I said, we have a divine opportunity right now to really make the most, but we have to, again, even with technology, we have to find the balance in it. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope my video was helpful. If you have any tips that you use in your house, go ahead and share them with us in the comments. Again, hit the like and subscribe button, please. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in.